Echo here again. Welcome back to my Feed the Beast Beginner's Guide. I'm starting up on here. I'm just getting some blood back into the network because it's been draining down as it's creating mob essence, which we did last time, of course. Now, I've changed this run a little bit. I've put 8 speed runes here. It's the new way I'm kind of enjoying doing it. Speed runes means this is draining down quicker, but it puts things into it puts life points into stuff a lot quicker. So you can make slates quicker. You can see I've made a load of slates ready for when we make a second altar, which will be for mob farming. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that though, but basically the speed runes mean you don't get as much blood because obviously you've got 8 less sacrifice runes, but it does go into stuff quicker. So it's a valuable trade-off. So I've got 8 spare sacrifice runes from the edge here that'll go into the next level, but we'll need beacons for the next level, of course. Now I've got a plan to make a second altar. The good thing about this mob essence thing we did is that it runs off blood. The bad thing at the minute is it runs off my blood, so I've got AFK up here. I don't have to do anything, I can just AFK up here, so it's pretty straightforward. But I'd like to be able to get away from me being involved at all, which means instead of having a ritual of the feathered knife, it means having a ritual called a well of suffering, which takes energy from mobs. Now we can do that with witches and the witches regen, which is really nice. So we can capture some witches. We've got a witch soul shell, of course. Right, now what I want to do here is one spell I didn't show you last time is skeleton with an ender pearl. I've put an ender pearl in there now, and I'm enjoying this a lot. I'll be making this a second spell table because I'm keeping the skull with ender pearl as one, and I want a skull and a glowstone as my other. What I can do with this is, you can probably guess what an ender pearl does. Boop. Boink. I can teleport about like I'm ender pearling about. Pretty cool. Can get around real nice and quick. Hello. Boink. Oh. There we go. So, what I want to do this episode is, first of all, I want to check how much blood we've got, how much mob essence we've got. Oh, getting there, 130. So that is it's burning through quite a bit. As we get more, as we manage to find more essence berries, it'll burn through more, of course, as well. Alright, right. Let's. Oh, this is turned off, by the way, because that's full. 64 stacks of wood in there, so all I did was, what did I do? Oh, I put a lever onto there. Put a switch on there, so you can turn a harvester off by putting a redstone signal to it. So that's just turned off, so that's just idling at the minute. That's alright. Now, if we head into here, I changed some of the things up there for blood bricks, by the way. That's why I've got a lot of sweet. That's why I've changed all these for them bloodstone bricks that we use on the top because I had them spare. So I've got all this redstone back. So I'm gonna put that into my A network. Yeah, unfortunately though, as you can see, we're at 5.3. It's going up pretty quick. There, look at that, 10,000, another 10,000-ish, 12,000. 6. So it's goes up nice and quick when you've got some speed runs on. But yeah, I wanna kind of move away from me being involved at all. So I'll probably do that next episode. Now I'm thinking I might wrap this series up pretty quick. As a beginner's guide, I think I've taught you pretty much most of the beginner's stuff. What we're moving on to now is certainly mid game and the start of some end game stuff on some of the mods. What I'll do in this episode, now I've got this big list of stuff here. But, I don't know if I need to do a lot of that. Mob farms we've done. Animal farms, you can just do them as part of mob farms, but you can have separate ones that make animals breed and all stuff like that. To be honest, if you've got mob farms, it's easy to farm animals in the same way. Modular power suit, I was just going to do for the sake of it, but modular power suit's a very good end game set of armour. We've done alright up to now in our Stormcraft and spring boots, but I could do that. This Thorncraft stuff, I don't really need to show. I mean, this is all optional. This is, if you want to get into Thorncraft, it's there for you. You can totally ignore Thorncraft if you want. Now that the research has changed, I will be doing a full little mini series on the new research and all the new stuff anyway. So I might just cover that in a different series. Let's put modular power suit there, because I might still do a modular power suit, because they are very good. Modular, if I could spell it. And the only really other thing we need to get to be well established mid game is Let's get rid of that. I would have liked the magnum torch, but we need a melon seed for that. I haven't been able to find any. Magic crops, I'd like to cover, but because this mod pack's beta, then some configs have been changed. So we've got a lot of this stuff. Now these extreme essences, we shouldn't have these. You make them from strong, which you make from regular, which you make from weak, which you get from essence dust. So the essence dust is what we get from the ground. Yet somewhere in the pack updates, I've ended up with 3 stacks of this extreme, and I know I've not manned enough normal essence dust to get all that. So something's changed with the config there at some point, I'm sure. And we've ended up with loads of that stuff. Now these are very strong, especially when you combine them with rotary craft fans, because they can automate the collection of this without having to replant. They do work with MFR harvesters as well. It's something I'm probably not going to cover much in this little series, but they are very strong. You should be aware that if you want a good source of any kind of material, because Magic Crops pretty much covers it all. And the only really thing we need to do is do some mass resource gathering. Now rotary craft 5 times ore, that's another optional. Well, we've got 3 times ore as we are. 5 times is a little bit more complicated. I've covered it in my Space Monster series. But mass resources is really, after what we do today, is pretty much all we really need to cover. Now, so I'll talk about computer craft a little bit. One of my subscribers sent me a couple of things about computer craft. Now, personally, I don't like using it. Computer craft is a very, very good mod. It's just not for me. And some mods people like, some mods people don't. For me, any mod that has me coding in game, I don't enjoy it, so I don't play with it. I don't even have to code though. There's a thing called Pastebin where you can send code and you can retrieve code from, and you can use computer craft. You can put down a title, you can just type in Pastebin get and the code that someone can give you, and you can pull a program in from Pastebin, and it'll do it all for you. Now, said I should use this for the redstone detection on the drum level down in the mob farm there. I could use it, I'm not going to. I wanted to mention it to you because it is a very good thing. There's plenty of YouTubers out there who do cover it. Direwolf covers it a lot. Funshine X covers it a lot. It's got a very good tutorial series on it. So if you want to learn about computer craft, it is very powerful, very, very powerful, and it does all kind of stuff. For me, it's like just coding in a rules to cheat. No, not to cheat. That's a bad word. It's just coding in a way to do something yourself rather than letting a mod maker make it. It covers a lot of stuff. You can do it for redstone control. It does the big reactor redstone control very well, which we should do that actually. We need to do that. I'll put that in there as well. Turtles can be used for mining, which is why they're on the list there, even though I won't be covering them. I was going to mention them there as well. But just be aware that I don't like it, so I don't do it. Just doesn't mean it's not good. It's very good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of laser crafting using buildcraft, which is how I do like to do redstone control. And I'm going to make a gate, very simple. I'm going to do some EnderIO upgrades, and then we'll probably get on with that big reactor upgrade. I also want to make a bound axe, and that's going to be the start of our mass resource gathering using a bound axe. So let's start off with the laser crafting. Now for this we need 2 things. We need lasers. Oops, not plural. Silly. We need lasers, redstone, obsidian, and diamonds. Easy enough. Let's turn this on. A lot of that redstone can go back. Let's grab some diamonds. Let's grab some obsidian, which will be over here. And we don't need loads of these. The more you make, the quicker you can produce stuff. Let's just bin them. Yeah, bin them out, screw it. And that smooth stone can go in there for now. So I'm going to start off by making just 3 of these. Like I say, you don't need loads. 1, 2, 3. Oops. And what this does, this is what you put your power into, and this etches gates out using laser power. We can use RF power to power this. We also need is an assembly table, the same mod. Now this mod is classed as Buildcraft, but it's called Silicon, I think. Buildcraft Silicon. So if you do Axe Silicon, it'll get you all the bits from this. And these are all the gates I'm talking about. Your most basic gate is just a piece of redstone in the assembly table. It takes 10,000 MJs, gets you a redstone chipset. You put that back in the assembly table again, it becomes a gate. That takes another 20,000 MJ, so it takes quite a bit of power. This is what we need, assembly table. For that we need a diamond gear. That's easy enough, let's clear that out. For a diamond gear we need some wood. Have I got any wood in here? Nope. Let's quickly grab a bit of wood. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's clear that out. Gets the wood gear, then we need to make that into a cobble, then an iron, then a gold, and then finally a diamond gear. So that's how you build your gears up. You build them up layer by layer. So we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4 cobble. Let's put around that. And then we want 4 iron and 4 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's the stacks, idiot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right click, shift right click to get single ones out. I shift left click the first time. We're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And then finally 4 diamonds around it. That gets us diamond gear, wonderful. We want another diamond on top, bit of redstone up there, and some obsidian. Gets us a assembly table. Now at some point I'm going to start wiring this up all properly, because I've got stuff just chucked all over the place at the minute. And I've got all these redstone energy conduits, which I should be running under the floor to all my different machines, rather than having it all separate, you know. But at the minute, I'm going to get to it, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring that out there, like that. I'll tie this up later, when I run all these cables under the floor. What I'm going to do is, what you do, you need power into your lasers, so we're going to attach lasers to our energy conduit. Now, these will start filling up if you start emptying, letting that come out of there, so put that to power output and you'll see that these should start getting power, even though Wireless not telling me it is, because no, should be working. Why are you not working? Because I turned it off. No. There we go, now it's working. Weird. Oh, I know why. Because I've got the output of this limited so much. I've got the output of this really limited, so that's not getting enough power to do anything. As you can see, the power's going up in them. That constantly drains power, so you need to be aware of that. There is a way we can control that with a gate, which I should show you as well. What we're going to do in this though is we're going to put our assembly table down. It has to be within 4 blocks of these. Doesn't have to be touching it or anything. What we're going to do there is just put in a bit of redstone, and once you put something in that side that's got a craftable pattern, you have to click it on this side. So we could have other stuff in there, like redstone and a diamond together, make that one. So with both them bits in there, you have to choose which one you want. So if I change to that, it'll start crafting that instead. Look, I can change back to that and it'll go back to crafting that. We'll take that diamond out. We don't want to craft a diamond chipset. And as you can see there, it's putting the lasers in. Now these are red because it's not got enough power. If we boost that to its max, you'll see that these will go through yellow, green, and then blue. Blue is the maximum power. You'll see this is going up much quicker. Wonderful. Let's put that stuff back in there. As you can see though, because we have not got everything wired up, then this is going to drain down that energy cell pretty quick, because I'm not fastened up over there. Now the other thing we're going to need is a nice little bit of stuff called cobblestone structure pipe. Now this is really nice. This is just your basic buildcraft pipes, like so. Cobble either side of glass. This, by the way, once it finishes, it just spits the item out. You see it chucks onto the floor. If you put a chest next to it, it'd put it straight into the chest. What I normally do is I have an ME interface underneath, which you can feed things into it and pull things out of it, which is quite nice. We'll put that back in there. Now that back in there, we've got the option of making a gate, which is what we want to make. So we'll do some more crafting there while we're carrying with this. Now these cobblestone transport pipes, what you can do is you can get some gravel. No gravel in here? No, gravel's still in there. You can turn them into a thing called a cobblestone structure pipe, which is very cool. Nice and straightforward. What it does, it lets you have these just running along stuff. So there we go. cobblestone structure pipe, what they can do is they can be placed in the world, and you can attach a gate to it or run wire along these. So that's in fact the next thing we need to do. I think I made the wrong gate. In fact, I know I made the wrong gate. Let's stop that a minute. Don't want that at all. What we want is the next level up. Now this basic gate, it does really basic stuff. This next level up, this iron gate. Yeah, made the wrong thing. What we needed to make was iron chipsets. So I'm actually going to make 2 of these. In fact, I'll carry on making that because might as well. I'll show you what that can do. And then I'll make 2 of these iron gates as well. So I'm going to put 2 of them in there. And I'm going to deselect that one. I'm going to select that. So the one that's bright red it does first. The one that's dark red it'll do next. So I'm going to get these made up. I'm also going to make stuff up called red pipe wire, which just takes an iron, a redstone and a red dye. That'll get me 8 of them. I'll be back when they're made up, and we can use that as our control over there. Back in a minute. Here we are then, and I've got 2 iron AND gates. So that was made by putting them redstone iron chipsets back in with some of the red pipe wire that I made. Red pipe wire, as I mentioned, was just a dye, redstone and the iron, nice and easy. So what I'm going to do now is, let's go that way, it's quicker. I'm going to jump across. Whee. I'm really liking that too much. I'm going to jump across to here. Now, this is where we could have used a turtle. What I could have done was I could have put a turtle next to this guy, and it could have detected what was in the barrel, and then put out a redstone pulse, which I could then run to the bottom of the master ritual stone there. But still going to do it this way. Now, what I want to do is I want to use these cobblestone structure pipes, like so. Now, first thing I want to do is I want that to ignore redstone, and it already is good stuff. So that's set to ignore redstone. What I want to do is these cobblestone structure pipes. We're going to run these along. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I need to get that off there. Kind of, come on, I don't want to break the stone behind it. There we go. So we're going to run the cobblestone structure pipe to under there like that. Now what I want to do is, first of all, I'll show you what the basic gate can do. So the gate, we put that on there. We'll see that we can detect the amount of fluid in the tank. So if there's any fluid in the tank, we can set this to output a redstone signal. If the tank's empty, or the tank's full, or the space of fluid, or if there's a redstone signal on or off. Now, if this is just connected, not touching anything, this is what I like about these guys. They're clever with what they're next to. So let's take that gate off there. Put that to there. You'll see that all it's got now is a redstone signal on or off. So it's only got the fluid stuff when it's next to a fluid container. Yeah. So, but all we can do with that basic gate is tell it to turn on a redstone signal or turn off a redstone signal. So currently, redstone signal off equals redstone signal on, which loops because that's turning that back on. So what we've done there is just make a redstone signal flicker on and off. But that's alright, but it's not what we need for this. What we actually need for this is a little bit more advanced, which is why I made these the next tier up. Now these gates we can do a bit more with. So we'll put one of these on. See, the first thing you do when you upgrade, you get an extra condition. So the diamond ones have got actually the autarkic diamonds and the normal diamonds. They actually got 8 conditions. So they've got 4 and 4. The gold have got 4, I think. Iron. 2, so 2, 4 and 8. Is that right? Maybe. So you get more conditions. So we could have a double condition here. We could say if there's fluid in the tank and, well, say then two will never be on together. If the tank's full and empty at the same time, that can't be right. But we could have one to send a redstone signal and one to send something else if we wanted to. But we can have a couple of conditions. We don't need 2 though. We're going to need 1. And what we're going to want is we want a tank full to put out a signal. Go away, you. Turn that off. Right, so when tank's full, we want to send out a signal. But we don't want just to put out a redstone signal, because putting out a redstone signal here won't do anything. This is where these guys come in. These red pipe wire. If we put a red pipe wire onto here, now, we get extra conditions here. So what we can do is we can say that when the tank's full, to put out a red pipe signal. And what basically that is doing is going to run a redstone signal along the pipe. So we can put a bit of this this red wire on each bit of that. And we've got it all the way to here now, so you can see the red pipe running along there. So if we set this to a condition that would turn that on. So let's set this to space for fluid. So the tank's got fluid in, but it's got space for fluid. So as you can see, that's put the redstone signal on, which has turned the redstone wire on. And what we can do now then is at the other end, we can put another iron gate. So these need to be iron, the basic gate. Let me just show you. Even though we've got red pipe wire on there, the basic gate, let's take that off. There's our basic gate. And put our red pipe wire back on, because that came off first. Now, we can set that to fluid in tank, but you'll see because it's a basic gate, it doesn't have the red pipe option there. So we actually have to have an upgraded gate on, which is why I made these iron gates. There we go. So that's an AND gate, by the way. We could have made that an OR gate as well. An AND gate means if we do set two conditions, if that and that's why it's an AND, need to both be right for it to put out the output. We could have made an OR gate, which could be that or that. Yeah, makes sense. Basic bit of logic gate stuff there. Anyway, I digress. We don't need to know about that at the minute. So what we want this to set is tank full equals red pipe signal, and then down here we actually use a red pipe signal as the input down this end. So our AND gate, I can't really click it from the front there, that's weird. So our red pipe signals were the input, and our output is going to be a redstone signal. So basically what that's going to do is, if that tank gets full, then this is going to trigger and turn the ritual off. So what we've got is, we've got a nice little, very simple system there. You can cover these with facades, make it look a bit tidy if you want, but you've got a nice little system there that whenever that gets full, it's just going to cut this system so that we're not wasting life points when we've got nothing to produce. So that's just going to sit there. Very nice. So that's what I want to cover with that. That's they work quite a lot of stuff. They used to work redstone with thermal expansion on the cells and stuff, but since the update, they no longer can tell whether a cell's full or not, which is a bit unfortunate. But still very useful things to know about. So that's one way I like to do redstone control. It always works. It's very consistent and useful. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you another way to do a redstone control. Let's quickly, I've just turned that off there, by the way. So I've turned the output off to that side so that it doesn't keep putting power into these, because that'd just be draining power for no reason. And just to make it a bit easier, so I could go and fill up my altar while that was crafting, I brought that chest, that strongbox over from over here, so that I didn't have to wait around for the things to jump out the case. I just put them straight into that chest, which was nice. Right then, so there's that bit done. We mentioned computer craft, we've done the laser crafting, and we made the redstone control. Now I want to get into EnderIO conduit upgrades then. So let's cover this first. I was going to do another bit of redstone control. In fact, let's cover that first, yeah. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a thing called a state cell. Now you can do this with an RS latch as well, I've been told, but this is the way I know how to do it, so I'm going to stick with the way I know how to do. For this we need a few things. First of all, we need one of these guys, infused silicon, and for that we need some silicon compound, for which we need a diamond saw and a silicon bowl. This all gets very complicated. Sandy coal compound, okay. So we have already got, I believe, a diamond saw. There we are. Now we've got a diamond saw for micro blocks, of course, at least the guys I remember. So what we need now is 8 sand and a block of coal. So 9 coal. Are you blocks of coal? No, you're obsidian. And we're going to make that into a block surrounded by sand. We've got this sandy coal compound, which we can now cook. furnace. And while we're doing that, we also want some smooth stone. So I don't need loads. 32 will do. I'll get us plenty. I'm going to cook the smooth stone as well. So we've got a silicon bowl there from the sand and the coal. What we're getting here are these guys, these circuit plates. So if you put smooth stone into a furnace, it will cook them into these guys. Just wait until we get some. There we go. So these silicon plates, what we're going to use. We'll come back to them in a minute. What we're doing now with this silicon bowl is use a diamond saw on it. It turns it into silicon, and then I believe we needed to cook that, so I'll actually put that in there instead of that in a minute. There we go. Get out of there, you. Does that not go in there? Because it's got stone in still. It's so slow. I should have done this first. It turns out that won't go in there at all. Okay, it's good to know. So, because I've not finished with it yet, I'm an idiot. Let's just use a stack of that, screw it. So I'm going to put redstone around this. Gets us these redstone silicon compounds, which we can then cook. Don't make a liar of me, please. Come on. There we go. We'll cook them up. In the meantime, we've got some of these circuit plates. These circuit plates can be made into quite a few things. They generally follow the same pattern that they use redstone. And some of them use a bit of smooth stone, and some use some sticks because they use redstone torches. Now what we want to make is the bits for the state cell. So we're going to want 3 blank ones, which we've got. 1, 2, 3. Then we want 2 just with a piece of redstone, which is these ones. Conductive plate, 1, 2. And then next up we want anode. An anode, you get 3 anodes for 3 plates and 4 redstone in that pattern. So 3 plates, 4 redstone gets you these anodes. We get 3 of them, but we only need 1 for this. And then I've got the cathode and the pointer. These are very similar. The cathode has a redstone torch above it, and the pointer has a redstone torch and a smooth stone. So we're going to want 2 redstone torches. If we put plates underneath them, we want 1 with smooth stone over it, and we want 1 without smooth stone. That gets us all these bits, and then finally, if we jump over here again, get this out of here, and I'll keep making the rest of that stone into more of them. Yeah, it might come in useful later. Finally, in the middle, we've got the silicon chip, which is 3 of the plates and 1 of them silicon. So 3 of them and 1 of them gets a silicon chip, and now we can put all these together. If I can remember the pattern, like that. There we go. We've got a thing called a state cell. Now these are very good. What a state cell does is it gets a signal and it's inside. Because we've got whaler, by the way, you can actually get these extra tags on here that shows you what the inside and the outside is. So this is the inside. For our switch here, if we get a redstone signal from the inside, what it does is it turns on the output. You see it turns on that output that way. So if we had a lamp there of any kind, have we got any lamps in there? Nope, never mind. We'd turn the lamp on, or it'd turn the reactor on. What's going to happen is, as long as that signal's on, the reactor will turn on. When it comes off, that signal, the timer starts, and the timer we can actually set to whatever interval we want. So we can set it for 10 minutes if you want. Let's go 600 seconds. Let's just go 300 seconds, a bit quicker. There's 5 minutes. So now, even though it's only just pulsed the redstone signal, that output's going to stay on for 5 minutes. So the timer gets run there, and once the timer gets run there, it'll turn off. If at any time it gets another redstone signal in while that's happening, it just resets the timer. It doesn't actually stop anything. So for use on the reactor, it's very good, because what we can do is we can set it using a couple of things called redstone ports that I'm going to have to make. What we can do is we can set it so that when it gets below 20%, it puts out a redstone signal, and that redstone signal can be what we're simulating here. So when the reactor gets below 20% full, it puts out a signal. We can time how long it takes to fill back up. So it might be 3 minutes, might be 5 minutes. We'll just have to quickly check that. And once the timer gets round, it'll turn itself off. So it'll turn on for long enough to fill up. Now, if it's using loads of power at the same time, it might actually be using more than we put in than we can actually produce. So it'll keep dropping below the 20%. In which case, the timer will keep resetting. So it's going to work really nice. What I need to do now then is make a couple more of these reactor casings, because we're going to need the redstone ports. Now the redstone ports are there. No, that's a power tap. Redstone ports are... where are you? Redstone port, there we go. 4 redstone and a gold ingot. I need 2 of these, so I need to make another 6 reactor casings. So I'll get them made and then we'll put it together when I've got them done. Well, I'm over 30 minutes and I don't even think I've done anything, so I've got no idea where the time's going. Right, I'm going to break that. Break that. So what have I done? I made my 2 reactor redstone ports, which I showed you earlier. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run around here and we're going to switch 2 of these bits of glass out for them. Now I've got to be careful here, because as soon as I break that, this end is going to try and flow out, so I'll be a bit quick. There we go. There's one. And I'm going to put a gap in between the 2. We could have them right next to each other and use some covers, which I'll explain in a minute, but I'm just going to go like that. Oh. That bit of glass got teleported away because I was a bit slow. I wonder where that went. Oh, there it is. Sweet. Right then, so what we are going to want is... oh, we need something else. We need some red alloy wire. This is pretty straightforward. Uses these red alloy ingots that I just smelted up, compound, which is redstone and round iron. Nice and easy. So I've done the compound bit, it just needs cooking up. So we'll stick that into there. We'll take the rest of the circuit plates out and stick them in there for now. And in fact, that spare big reactor stuff can also go in there. This is like a dump chest, a storing chest for the time being. And that can go in there, and that's all good. They can go in there. So this should be cooked up, and it is wonderful. So 3 of them makes you 12 red alloy wire. We can make this stuff, framed red alloy wire, using oak wood strips, which is just using a saw again, cutting up an oak wood plank. But, we're going to leave it like this for now. We might have to change to them. Them strips you can cover using covers as well, which is nice. Now what I've done is I've run a power cable under the floor down here, under the floor behind the wall, like under the wall should I say, and I put out power line to the controller, to the sag mill, and to the alloy smelter. I'll be able to run power underneath here across to this side as well later on, but I haven't done that just yet. But what we'll be ready for is, in fact we can do it now, is we can pull that off there. What we can do now is we can drag it over here, and that can go there. So we want power output from the bottom and power input from the top. So this is going to start draining this guy out. We're going to start putting power in there from the buffer in there. Wonderful. What we want to do over here is our alloy wire, I believe, does not go on there. Right, so yeah, we do actually need some wood. So let me... how do I want to do this? Yes, I'm actually going to do it. It's not exactly how I want this, if I'm being honest. I would like the alloy wire to go straight onto there, but I don't think it's not going to. It needs to be framed. So we could have used something else as well. We could have used something from EnderIO, some conduit, or we could have used MFR conduit. So we had options. So we might have to go to one of the options if this doesn't work how I want it to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of these strips by cutting up a wooden plank first into 8 and then into 16. And I might need some more of these, so I'll bring some more with me. And we're going to go like so. Oops, try it again. We'll start off with 2 of these. What these will do is you can go straight on the side of this, like so. So what I actually want is that way. So I want this one to put a signal into that one. I don't think it's going to. Let's have a look. So these redstone ports, what we can do is a few things we can do. One of them, we can set an output energy amount. So we can tell this to be active while above or below a certain amount. So what we want it to be is below, let's go with 25%. So if the buffer in this gets below 25, you see it's 46 in a minute. If it gets below 25, it'll put a redstone signal out and light this up. So let's change that to 50 just so we can see it active right now. And commit. We'll see that's got a redstone signal. It's not put into there, which was what I thought might happen. This is going to make it a little bit untidy. And I'm not a big fan of untidy, I don't mind telling you. I might have a bit of a think how I'm going to do this, because I don't think I like it like this. The problem I'm going to have is, because this goes in from one side and out from the side, it's going to have to come right out into the path here. You know what I mean? Like, now we do need a cover there, so I also need a cover strip. Let's cut up one of these. This will be fun. So we can stop that from connecting by using one of these guys like that, and that'll stop them 2 wires connecting there. Yeah. What we also want is we're going to want to connect that onto there. Oops. Now we actually want to change this. We want to reset that. We actually want this to be enabled from signal, so that this will be turned on when the signal's true. The signal should not be true. Oh, because I didn't commit it. There we go. Set from signal. You should not be on. What are you on for? You should not be on. Put you back. There we go. Now it's off. Weird that was staying on. What we want is this one set to active while below. Let's go with 25. And we need 2 more of them. So let's turn these into strips as well. Go with you. That's not real. Little ghost item there. So 2 more of them. So what we can do now is we can connect this side to there. So when this gets below 25%, we want 26.6. So it's getting low. Now that's full low, so it's not going to get any lower. So we'd have to use some power to make it go lower. What can I use some power on? Never mind. Let's just change the setting. Let's change it to, as I said before, let's have that to 50. What's going to happen here is that's going to turn on, and that's going to stay on, which is going to put power through there and back into there. So as long as this is below 50, this is going to stay on. Now what's going to happen is when it hits 50, so we're fairly free. Let's change it to so it turns off a bit quicker. Let's go to 40. So we're at 37. So this is going to go off pretty quick. When it goes off, this timer's going to start. Let's put that to a minute. So there we go. It's at 40, so it's gone off. But we've still got power on for another minute. So the thing's still going. Now the reason why we want this is we could have just a redstone signal, but what's going to happen is the boiler's just going to keep, the reactor's just going to keep flicking on and off. And if it keeps flicking on and off, it doesn't get a chance to heat up, and it's more efficient when it's hot. So it runs better when it's running at its right temperature. So we don't just want it to keep flicking on and off instantaneously. What we want is a bit of time there. So what we've got is it set so that it's going to stay on for another minute. So instead of stopping at 40, so it's got an extra 52, 53, so it's got an extra 13-14% up to now, and it's going to keep going all the way around to that minute. Now we're probably going to want to do this 2 minutes if we're doing it from 40, possibly even 3 minutes if we're doing it from 25. But what's going to happen is as it comes level with this side, there it goes. See, it flicked off then. So now this is turned off, and now it will cool down, and it won't go back on again until it hits 40 again. Wonderful. So what I do, I'm going to set it to 25. I just don't like the fact that this has to come out one further. But unfortunately that's the way it's going to have to be, I think. What we can do to make this look a little bit nicer is the reason why I cut one of these factory blocks up, is we can go like that and cover them bits with some factory block, which looks nice and pretty. But, we've still got this right in the middle of the path, so I probably will put that under there at some point. I probably will change it around the spider on the roof. Go away scaring me. Let's cover you up. Haha, dickhead. They'll keep falling on me, innit? So we'll set that to an next 25. Now from 40 with a minute on, it went up to nearly 60. So a minute got 20% out of it. So from 25, let's go with 2 minutes. I'll set that to 2 minutes. So when we use power now, we don't have to worry about this. This will turn itself on, it'll keep itself regulated. More importantly, it'll turn itself off, so it won't be running when it's full, so it won't be wasting fuel. Which is nice. Right. I'm going to go get a spider because it's getting on my nerves. Come here, spider. Piss off. Get on my nerves, damn thing. Right then, so that's that bit sorted. Now, so what I've got here, this guy is running from that. We can't turn this off anymore though. It's going to run all the time. That's the way we've got it set. And these guys are now powered from underneath, so we don't have to keep putting stuff in here anymore because these are getting RF power from the cable underneath there, which is nice. Sweet. Right then, episode's probably getting long. Let's check off what we've done. We have done big reactor, redstone, EnderIO upgrades. I'll leave them to next episode. No, I'm not. Oh shit. That was unfortunate. Piss off. Well, I'll repair that. Yeah, we'll finish off this episode with the EnderIO upgrade, so I'll get the bits ready we need for that, and I'll be back for the last bit when I've fixed this mess. Right then, I think I've got everything I need. I just had to go down into the depths of the earth to get a bit more redstone. I've manned some of that essence dust. I got 7 of them using my fortune pick from 1 block down there. See, that's going down pretty quick. I just went and filled that back up before the last section. So I've used like nearly 2 million of my nearly 200,000 of my 1 million there. So it's going down pretty quick. I want to keep quite an eye on that. Anyway, magic essence dust, yeah. That's how we went to get it. But so I don't know, I've got all that fully upgraded stuff. What I needed was some of these. Now there's 2 recipes I've seen for these. These are actually more expensive than I've normally seen these. These normally take gold nuggets, and then these I've seen only taking 2 steel, not 6. And these I've seen taking only 2 vibrant alloy, not 6 as well. So FTB Monster has got these set to a hard config. There is a config change there if you really want to change it, just so you know. Oops. Let's put them back. Oh, done it again. What am I doing? So let's make, we're going to need 8 of these guys, basic capacitors. Then what we'll do is, we need to combine these now with some pulverized coal. Now you can pulverize the coal in either your pulverizer or in your sag mill here. What I've done is I've put it in the sag mill. The reason why I've done this is I want to drain the power out of this. So I've disconnected the power under here just for a second, because this guy had power in it, and we don't need this core generator anymore, this Sterling generator. So I'm gonna pick that guy up, get him out of the way. Thank you. Come here. In a minute, we're gonna drain the power out of this, and then we're gonna move that across next to that. So there's no point having a gap in between, but we'll move that across to there when it's ready to go, and that'll be powered by that. Also, what I've just done is I've run a power cable under the floor, so this is now getting powered under there from the reactor as well. So that's running these machines as well now. So that at the minute is just not output anywhere. So we're not using the nether lava anymore. Right. The next thing we need is some of this electrical steel. Now we need 16. No, we don't need. We need more than that, don't we? We need 24. I've got nowhere near enough. So what we need here is coal, iron. I need another 19, don't I? And what we need is this stuff, silicon, that we make by putting sand through the sag mill here. So we're getting some of this silicon stuff. So I'm actually going to need 4, 12, yeah, 24. So I need another 19. So 7, another 12. So I'm going to actually have to wait until I've got enough silicon to get all this made. So I am actually going to have to cut again, because I thought I'd be ready, but I miscalculated. What we can do is we can make one of them. See, that gets us the next level up, the double layer. Now the double layers, we can't do anything until we've got 2 anyway. So we need at least another 6 of these. Yeah, I'll come back when I've got enough silicon to make enough of these electrical steels to get the next bit sorted. I've got to kill that noisy guy. Shock horror, I failed at maths. I was one short. One electrical steel short. So yeah, normally these recipes are a lot cheaper. So for some reason, the Feed the Beast guys have decided that they want to config it to the more expensive version. Unless it's the version of EnderIO run. Anyway, what we want is 4 of these guys. So we've got our singles, our basics. We want 4 double layers. Now, what I can show you with this is before we upgrade them. If we upgrade these like so, what we need is some pulsating 6, 12, yeah. We need some pulsating ingots, which use energetic alloy and ender pearls. Now the energetic itself is gold, redstone and glowstone together. So that's how you make the energetic. So I've already made them, and now we're making these guys. What I can show you is, if we put one of these double layers in, see at the minute we've got 100,000 IRF in there. If we put a double layer in, it puts that up to 200,000, and it runs quite a bit quicker. You can see that's going significantly quicker. Well, what's going to happen is once we get the octadic in, which is our next upgrade, it's going to put it up to, I think, 1 million. And they're double. If it's 8 times, so if it's 4 times that, it'd be 800,000, wouldn't it? But we'll see. So this is certainly going quicker than it was, as you can see. So we'll wait until we've got one full one, and then the second one's going to go in the sag mill. But we'll put the first one into this to make the last bit a bit quicker. So yeah, we're at 200,000 there, and there we go. We can now make our first of our octadics, and now if we put that in there, swap that for that, you'll see that that has in fact got 1 million, and it's quicker still. So that's how you upgrade the speed of your alloy smelter and your sag mill. You bang an octadic in. Now more will sit in there, but I'm fairly confident that more doesn't make any difference. But there we go. Let's stick them in there, and then I can wrap up the episode. So what we are doing now is we're using power. I had this on 30 again, so everything was starving. We're using power, so that's going down. So we should see any minute now this kick in. We should see the reactor turn on, as that's burning through power. Now hopefully it's certainly going to burn through enough power, because I've just increased the internal storage of that alloy smelter by a hell of a lot. So, has it stopped? Has that filled up? Oh, it has. Son of a bitch. So if we do this, we've now got another 800,000 RF can go into there, which should, there we go. So we're at 25%. that triggered that. That's going to run for 2 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it, make sure 2 minutes is a good time. And if it's not, I'll adjust that as needed. But there we go. So I'm going to wrap up there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope I taught you something, and I hope it was entertaining while I was doing it. Now, I do want to get on with a bound axe, but I guess I'm going to have to do that next episode. Next episode, I want to really start looking at getting mass resources in. Now, the usual way of doing that is a quarry, but I want to show you the bound sword method first, and I want your ender pearls. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, that's another one. Oh, started to fight with 2. Well, I'll leave you there with that horrible noise. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Cheers. Bye.